Hey guys, welcome back. Tackling social media is one of the most important things that I think that businesses should be doing. You should be creating content. It teaches you messaging, the importance and the value that your product or service is bringing to the marketplace. It introduces value before a purchase, and people expect value after a purchase. Putting work in creating content around your product or service is one of the most powerful moves that any business owner is going to take. It is a long-term move because the results aren't just instantaneous. Knowing that content creation is a long-term move, a lot of people run out of content ideas. They struggle to think about, how am I going to create content for 2 years straight about a product or service? How is that possible? That is the topic of this video today. Never running out of content. The first part of this video is understanding your audience. I will say this in possibly every single one of my videos. Understanding your audience is a powerful move, and every single one of your marketing actions will come back to the question, who are you selling to? Who is buying from you? And who is viewing your content? Who are they, and why don't you know everything about them? Because the more you know about them, the more they will love you, and the more they will watch your content, the more they will view, the more they will like, the more they will comment, the more they will share. The more you know about them, the more they will buy. Let us get into it. The foundational step for any content creator is understanding their audience. Before delving into content production, it's paramount to grasp who the intended recipient of the content are. Who exactly are you even making this for? You can't just be making content for making content's sake. By identifying their unique interests, pressing needs, challenges faced, and behavioral tendencies, content can be tailored to be more engaging and valuable. Practical methods for understanding this are conducting surveys, initiating direct conversation, and fostering interactive discussions. Such activities yield rich insights that guide the content creation process. Now, we created an entire video breaking down every single thing that you need to do if you're a beginner business owner, or you have no audience, or you're an established business owner on the content marketing scheme and you do know a little bit about your audience. Even if you are advanced and you know everything that there is to know about your audience, you don't know there might be one point in there that we covered on and you have never thought about it before. So make sure you check out that video. It is in the cards here, or if you want to be patient, watch this entire video and watch it. It is down below. Now let's go into a more in-depth example of this in action. Emily is an entrepreneur who loves baking delicious treats. She started posting pictures and recipes of her creations online, hoping to share her passion with the world. However, she noticed that her posts weren't getting much attention. One day, Emily decided to conduct a survey to understand her audience better. She asked her followers about their favorite flavors, baking challenges, and what they'd like to learn. Armed with this information, Emily started creating content tailored to her audience's interests and needs. Suddenly, her engagement soared, and more people started trying her recipes. By taking the time to understand her audience, Emily turned her baking hobby into a thriving online community. If you know what they want, if you know what they need, and you figure out a way how to make your product or service align with that, then you win. The next step, you move on to content pillars. The act of brainstorming can be an invaluable asset in the content creation journey. By allocating specific time slots, either individually or preferably with a diverse team, fresh and innovative ideas can be unearthed. So you can do this alone or with your friends or with a team. The strength in brainstorming lies in the collective pooling of diverse perspectives and experiences. So that is why even if you are the only one there, you want to make sure that you're gathering resources and ideas from a wide net. And if you aren't, then you need to have some friends or some colleagues to join you in the process. The broader the mix of individuals involved, the more expansive the ideas will be. This synergy can be the birthplace of unique content that stands out in a saturated digital landscape. After you've identified everything about your clients and your audience, you know everything about them, you know what they need, you know what they're into. Now connecting what they need and what they're into with what you do and what you're providing, this is where those two things meet. The content pillars. I think it should be above 5 because you don't want to be monotonous in the type of content that you're creating. And if you're going through creating content pillars, then it means that you may not have had content pillars before, and you don't want to be too niche down. So you want to have different ideas that align with what you do and what you provide and the value that you're providing with what your clients and your audience needs and what they want. So let's see this in an example. Meet Alex, a teenager who loves skateboarding and wanted to share his passion with others. Instead of just posting random videos, Alex identified his content pillars: skateboarding tricks, skate park reviews, and skateboard maintenance. With these themes in mind, he started creating videos that focused on each pillar. For skateboard reviews, he visited different skate parks, talked about their features, and even interviewed other skaters. This approach not only gave his channel a clear direction, but also attracted a loyal audience who loved his enterprise and enthusiasm. Alex's content pillars acted as a roadmap, guiding him to create content that resonated with both beginners and experienced skateboarders. So it is very important to create content pillars. Once you understand your audience and you've created your content pillars, now the next step are content multipliers. We will now multiply every single pillar that you have by these multipliers, and that's how you will never run out of content. The first multiplier that we're going to focus on are insights. Insight-driven content delves deep in uncovering the facets of a topic not commonly discussed or highlighted. Such content is either rooted in hard data or stems from first-hand experiences, making it both authentic and impactful. For instance, while many speak about the financial advantages of freelancing, content that explores the hidden emotional challenges of freelancing and ways to navigate them taps into an area less discussed. Providing readers with a fresh perspective. It may be a perspective or a viewpoint that people did not really think about or the mainstream aren't necessarily covering, and that definitely can give you an edge. Let's see this in an example. Meet Jake, a fashion enthusiast with a passion for vintage clothing. He knew that simply showcasing his outfits weren't enough to stand out on social media, so he decided to use insights as one of his content multiplier. Jake delved into the history of iconic fashion trends like bell-bottom jeans and leather jackets. He shared posts explaining the cultural significance of these trends and how they evolved over time. By providing his audience with unique insights into the world of fashion, Jake not only educated them but also positioned himself as an authority in the vintage clothing niche. His followers appreciated the depth of his content and started seeking his advice on building their own vintage collection. You bring respect to the table when people start to realize, he's experienced, he knows how to look at this from different perspectives, and will give more information about something than just what the regular people are saying. The next one are mistakes. You always want to learn from someone else's mistakes and not from your own. You'll definitely live a happier life that way. People often learn best from mistakes, making such content incredibly valuable. By highlighting common errors or misconceptions associated with a given theme, content creators can guide their audience away from potential pitfalls. For example, an article titled 5 Common Mistakes New Freelancers Make and How to Sidestep Them not only educates readers but also positions the content creator as a trusted guide. You want to make sure when people hear about the mistakes, they will think that here's something that I will not waste my time on, so they'll definitely trade that time to watch that video to basically spare themselves the emotional heartbreak of making that mistake for themselves. So that type of content is definitely attractive. Here's an example of how a makeup artist used it for her business. Lily was a makeup artist who wanted to connect with her audience on a more personal level. She realized that by sharing her journey and experiences, she could use the mistakes content multiplier effectively. Lily posted about her early makeup mishaps like mismatched foundation and overdone eyeliner. She turned these stories into relatable and funny anecdotes that resonated with her followers. Alongside each story, she provided tips on how to avoid these common makeup mistakes. Lily's honest approach not only made her more relatable, but also turned her account into the go-to place for makeup enthusiasts seeking practical advice without taking themselves too seriously. So let's move on to the next one. Myths. Myths and mistakes are two different things. In a world rife with misinformation, debunking myths can be both a service to readers and a distinguishing factor for content creators. By addressing and correcting false information or widely held misconceptions related to a particular theme, your content pillar, content creators can establish themselves as reliable sources of truth. Take, for example, a piece that dissects the top 7 myths about freelancing, offering clarity to those mired in confusion. This type of content, again, is very attractive because people are wondering, I wonder if any of the videos that I've watched and taken to heart and about to act on were lies or myths. So that is very attractive. It shows that you have tried a lot of things in the industry and you know how to dissect the truth from the falsehoods. Let's see an example. Lucas was a gamer who wanted to break down misconceptions about video games. He utilized the myths content multiplier to change stereotypes and false beliefs. Lucas created posts debunking myths like video games make you violent and gamers are lazy. He backed up his claims with research and personal anecdotes showing how gaming had improved his problem-solving skills and introduced him to a global community of like-minded individuals. In just one move, Lucas has positioned himself with a group of people who share all of these claims. How did he prove that this is true, and how did he dissect the myth? That is a big part of breaking down myths. You can't just only use your opinions. You have to bring in scientific data, statistics, numbers, and factual information that people will also hold you accountable for. By dispelling these myths, Lucas not only educated his followers but also changed their perceptions about gaming, leading to more productive conversations around the topic. And that's the type of content that you want to be doing for your industry. All of this breaks down into content strategy. How are you going to be posting your videos online, the type of videos that you'll be posting, the frequency of the videos that you'll be posting. Listed down below in the description, there is a link to a content strategy questionnaire. If you fill it out, you will be able to create your own content strategy, and it will fill in all of this for you, and it will also help you to create this on a deeper scale. The deeper you go with the information and the value that you're bringing to your audience about your product or service is the better all of your content will be. The questions are created in such a way that they will challenge you, bring out the best ideas out of you to do this in action. So listed down below, the content strategy questionnaire. Next one are case studies. Case studies sometimes scare people, especially people who don't normally read case studies, but there's a compelling allure to a real life story. That's what a case study is, a real life story, especially when they're backed by tangible evidence. Case studies offer detailed analysis of specific situations or outcomes related to a chosen theme. For example, if you're in a business and you sell water bottles, your water bottle has this germ killing feature and you need to create content about how your germ killing bottle actively impacted someone's life in a real way from a real customer. But a case study is not something that should scare you because it boosts social proof and people love to see that other people are partaking in your thing. These narratives grounded in reality often bolster credibility and fosters trust. It's all about reality and people trust people who are all about reality. An inspiring case study might chronicle how Jane Doe's freelancing journey led her from earning nothing to a 6-figure income in a single year. It's a story, but it has to be real life because that's the way how you gain credibility, as well as you will be able to use evidence. You'll have an enormous amount of detail, and people are able to say, no joke, this is definitely the situation that I'm in, and this one thing can possibly take me to this next step. Now, here's an example. Chloe was a fitness influencer who wanted to inspire her followers by showcasing real transformations. She embraced the case studies content multiplier to share success stories from her fitness programs. Chloe highlighted individuals who had lost weight, gained muscle, or improved their overall well-being through her guidance. All the fitness trainers who are watching, pay attention. She provided before and after photos, detailed workout routines, and testimonials from her clients. Doing only one of these things will not help you. You need to do different forms of case studies, and that's when you'll see real success. You have to be thorough, you have to be detailed, and you have to be diverse. By presenting evidence-based success stories, Chloe established credibility and trust among her audience. Her approach helped potential clients see the tangible results they could achieve by following her fitness programs. Next up, we have processes. For those seeking actionable advice, process-driven content is a gold mine. A lot of people out here, especially business owners and entrepreneurs, who love action. Yes, you have to learn, but when you learn, the only way you move the needle is by acting. And the best type of content for those type of people are process-driven content, offering step-by-step breakdowns or comprehensive how-tos related to a theme, your content theme. This content type equips readers with the tools and knowledge to take concrete steps. Consider a guide that meticulously details setting up your freelancing business in 30 days, offering readers a clear path to follow. People love when you cut the fluff. People love when you give them the raw data right there. They love to know what is next and what is next after that, and then after that. And it's all about action, because that's the only way you actually get stuff done. Here's an example of this. Max was a DIY enthusiast who loved creating unique home decor items. He leveraged the processes content multiplier to share step-by-step guides for his projects. Max documented each stage of his creation, from selecting materials to assembling the final piece. His posts included detailed instructions, photos, and even videos of the process. By breaking down complex projects into manageable steps, Max empowered his followers to try their hand at DIY projects, even if they had no prior experience. This literally places you in the position of an expert, and selling a product or service and being called an expert is literally the best place to be. And there are different ways of getting there. You can get there by doing all of the things that we're suggesting here, but you need to be creating valuable content, and this is one way. His clear and actionable content made his profile a valuable resource for anyone looking to spruce their living spaces up. I'm pretty sure that if Max was selling any of those home decor items, I'm sure his followers would purchase them because they trust him. They view him as a source of actionable information that they're going to go to, learn something, and get something done. And that's the type of content and that kind of space that you need to be in. Now, the next type of content are questions. Addressing questions head on can be an immensely effective content strategy. By tuning into the specific queries or concerns an audience has about a theme, content can be crafted to provide direct solutions or answers. Such content not only quells curiosity, but also addresses pain points. And remember, earlier we told you to research your clients. This is one of the best places that you would address a lot of those questions that they're having. A piece debating the merits and drawbacks of freelancing, full-time versus part-time, would resonate with those on the fence about their freelancing commitment. That's a cool example for you to just understand quickly. But here's a more detailed example for us to dive into. Sarah was a nutritionist passionate about promoting healthy eating habits. She used the questions content multiplier to address common concerns her audience had about nutrition. Sarah posted Q&A sessions where she tackled topics like how to balance a vegetarian diet or are carbs really bad for you? She provided well-researched answers and practical tips to help her followers make informed decisions. If you are selling a product or service and people can trust you enough to come to you to answer their questions, I promise you that you are now a trusted source and they will make purchases from you because they know that you will always have their backs and you know what is best for them. You will always spare them the emotional damage of making a wrong turn. By directly engaging with her audience's queries, Sarah built a strong sense of community and positioned herself as a trusted source of nutritional guidance. Now, the next one are stories. Humans are inherently drawn to stories. Narratives or anecdotes, whether personal or from others, are relatable, evoking emotions and imparting lessons in memorable ways. A piece recounting the roller coaster highs and lows of a freelancer's first year would captivate readers, allowing them to see their own journey mirrored or to gain insight from another person's experiences. Stories are one of the most powerful things that content creators can do, and once you tap into that space, you'll never return because you realize that people love to hear stories. It has a beginning, it has an end, it has a rise and a fall. Let's see a more in-depth example of this. Mia was a travel blogger who wanted to capture the essence of her journeys in a more personal way. She embraced the stories content multiplier by sharing vivid narratives from her adventures. Mia recounted her experiences of hiking through dense forests, tasting exotic cuisines, and connecting with the locals. Her stories were full of emotion, from the excitement of discovering new places to the challenges of navigating unfamiliar cultures. We've all been there, and if we haven't, we'd love to hear what it is like. By weaving these personal stories into her travel content, Mia transported her followers to distant lands and made them feel like they were part of her journey. If you are able to incorporate all of these content multipliers in your content strategy, I promise promise you, you will never go a day without people engaging with your content and loving what you are showing them. This is how you create content in the modern day. Content needs to be rich and it needs to be broadcasted and showcased in different ways. And these are some of the best ways that I've seen how to broadcast content. This is how you will never run out of content again. You asked and I delivered. Thank you. Have a nice one.